10 most underrated players in the NBA in 2022 to 2023. Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Why the Fact Not coming to all of you with a brand new video. In a league with so many overpaid and overrated basketball players, it's not that hard to find multiple underrated NBA players 2022. These guys leave their bodies, hearts, and souls on the floor and do all the little things that can help a team win, yet they get little to no recognition for their efforts. But what makes a player be underrated? Most of the time, those who set the picks, hit the deck diving for loose balls, or do the ugly job don't get the praise or make the headlines. That's even more obvious when their contributions don't fill up the stat sheet. Some players make as much money as they deserve, but still, no one talks about them as stars or borderline stars. Others are even in a tougher spot as they don't get any love from the fans and also fail to cash in big checks like other overrated colleagues. Considering that, we've put together our list of the top 10 most underrated NBA players 2022. Starting up this list is at number 10. Khris Middleton. Khris Middleton has had to work hard for everything he's gotten in the NBA. He spent a lot of time in the G League and bounced around before finally finding his home with the Milwaukee Bucks, becoming the perfect complement next to Giannis Antetokounmpo. But Middleton gets little credit for the Bucks' success. He's an elite team defender, an efficient shooter who flirts with 5-0, 4-0, 9-0 shooting splits, and the second leading scorer in one of the best teams in the association. He can opt out of his contract and sign an even bigger deal, and he sure deserves it.
He did that. Chris, great job. And teach you both. That's Italian for steals in basketball. Get it off the glass before and finish. Nice job between the two of them. Giannis has it to Middleton. Middleton puts up the jumper, puts it in! Khris Middleton, another clutch shot of these playoffs!
Number 9. Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma gets a lot of hate, and we get it. He's not exactly easy to like, and it seems like he's just too full of himself and believes he's a much better player than he actually is. Also, he looked poised to become a perennial all-star, but his development kind of stalled. But that doesn't mean that Kuzma isn't a very good basketball player. He started taking pride in his defense and became an above-average stopper at both forward spots. He can score from all three levels, is a solid rebounder, and is still quite young, so there's room for improvement.
Get back, and then a nice pitch pass to Gafford. Nothing to do with it in there. Nice, clean look.
That's his fourth already. Look at Kuzma just split the double team. Hayward to Rozier. Rozier lost it on the way up. Here comes Kuzma. Kuzma attacks, finishes with the left.
Number 8. Norman Powell. Everybody's talking about Kawhi Leonard and Paul George coming back and John Wall joining them on the Los Angeles Clippers. But we haven't forgotten about Norman Powell. Another major addition, and one of the most underrated NBA players 2022. Powell broke out during a contract year and became an outstanding scorer, all out of the blue. He also proved that he could play on and off the ball, facilitate for others, and hold his own on the defensive end of the floor. Don't sleep on him, as he can be the X factor on a championship team.
Shots will be no consequence shots for these guys.
Powell, and his first bucket as a Blazer is a pretty one as he sticks the jumper.
Mid-range game, can shoot the three, can get all the way to the rim, and can dunk on people.
Powell going into the body of Okeke, hits the tough runner.
Yeah, athletic, strong, able to...
Number 7. Jarrett Allen. The Brooklyn Nets developed Jarrett Allen. They watched him blossom into a fine rim protector and block shots from nearly every superstar in the league. They also needed someone who could dominate the glass and prevent them from being out-rebounded. And then they just let him go. Allen is one of the best old-school bigs in the league right now. He's not a flashy scorer by any means, but he can still impact the game with his length, strength, and athleticism. Allen can finish above the rim and lock down the paint, and he proved to be a solid fit next to Evan Mobley.
Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today.
Number 6. Kevon Looney. Kevon Looney must be one of the most boring players to watch in the history of basketball. However, the Golden State Warriors would have never been able to win the NBA championship last season if it wasn't for him holding down the fort and anchoring the paint. Looney's numbers will never be sexy, and those who only look at the stat sheet may scratch their head watching his new contract. But he does all the hard work and little things that make Steve Kerr's defense so versatile. He's a hustler, and his screens open a ton of shots for the Splash Brothers.
Never gonna look back. Damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, 'cause that's what it takes.
Number 5. Gary Payton. To Gary Payton too is by far one of the most underrated NBA players today. He was an afterthought for most of his career, and not even being the glove son was enough for him to get a spot on a roster. He literally had to prove his worth to get the final roster spot with the Golden State Warriors last season. Payton then responded by becoming a vital part of the Dubs rotation. His lockdown defense and never-ending energy were contagious. Not many players can guard 1 through 5 like him, especially giving up that many inches. But he's a relentless stopper who could even be on the shortlist for Defensive Player of the Year.
Finding out the ways to be efficient. GP2 off the Damien. Off 2 guys. Washington. A little bit strong. Green comes away with the rebound quickly up to Payton.
Tier number 4. Mikhail Bridges. Talking about versatile defenders who could one day win DPOY, then we need to address Mikhail Bridges' situation. He's quickly but quietly become one of the prime stoppers in the association, and his offense is finally starting to catch up as well. Bridges held his own against some of the best scorers in the world last season. Also, his skills as a cutter and a slasher made him a big threat in fast breaks, with Chris Paul slinging the basketball up and down the court. He could be their second best player this season.
And a dribble drive by Brown sets up Jeff Green. 3 on the way, no good. And a dribble drive by Brown sets up Jeff Green. 3 on the way, no good. Dario Saric and Jay Crowder not with the team now as they explore a trade. Ayton, challenge and a good one. Ayton's got it. Pass it out. Booker will make this one straight away.
Number 3. Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins went from being the butt of the joke to one of the 3 most underrated NBA players today. People thought he'd never amount to anything in the NBA as he had failed to live up to the expectations. But maybe all he needed was a change of scenery. Wiggins bought into Steve Kerr's system and went all in into becoming an elite defender and more efficient shooter. He played a huge role in the Golden State Warriors' success last season, even having huge performances in the playoffs and being their best defender and rebounder on the floor during key stretches.
Wiggins delivers again. Kuminga's and the Wisemans have put the years in and Looney has certainly come up. There's another move by Andrew Wiggins.
And Jordan Poole, we asked to speak to him today, and that young man refused. As Wiggins gets a steal, he's cooking a layup here.
Number 2. RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett's case is quite complicated. Maybe he's just underrated because he plays for the New York Knicks, and everybody expects them to mess things up. Maybe sharing the spotlight with so many young superstars has made the narrative about him so tough. But he's far from a mediocre player. Barrett has quietly improved in nearly every aspect of his game every year he's been in the league. His shot selection has gotten a lot better, and so have his handles and playmaking skills. He's got all the physical tools to be an elite two-way player, and even though he may never accomplish that, he's still better than most people say he is.
Really worried about the regular season for Porzingis as Barrett nails the 3.
Effort not blocking him out.
Randall, though, off the
And lastly, at number 1, Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday has to be one of the most underrated point guards of all time. He went from being a primary scoring option with the Philadelphia 76ers to embracing an entirely different role later in his career. Yet he has excelled as a playmaker and a defender for years. Even some of his colleagues deem him the best perimeter defender in the league. However, you never see his name on the shortlist for Defensive Player of the Year. Holiday is one of the main reasons why the Bucks won the NBA Finals 2 years ago. And it's time we give credit where it's due.
To have to adjust just a little bit with that contact.
You can see the Bucks are everywhere defensively, and Holiday, one of the great on-ball defenders, maybe got away with the walk, lays it up, lays it in. Bucks lead by 1.
This is a Terrence Mann. This is an energy crew that Ty Lue puts on the floor here the latter part of the first quarter.
Yeah, and the shooters too. That's, by the way, Powell's first shot as a Clipper that he just...
And that is it, guys. This is the list of 10 most underrated players in the NBA in 2022 to 2023. Hope you all like this video, and please don't forget to smash that like button. And you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button and also hit that notification bell so you will be updated on my next video upload. Mega love shout out to my Premier team, Team Hainan and Team Warriors, and all its very active and supportive members. This is why the fact not saying anything is possible. Just keep it simple. See you all on my next video. Thank you for watching.